Hi everyone, welcome back to the Indianapolis Best to Invest Bracket Challenge. Evan Manship with Mainstay Property Group here, joined by my colleague Clay Manship with Mainstay Property Group. Wanted to go through the initial bracket as it was unveiled last Friday and really get some thoughts and some insight here from Clay, who knows these neighborhoods probably better than anybody. But just wanted to go through some of these and get your initial thoughts on the committee's decision and how everything was seated and your thoughts on the tournament.
Yeah, first and foremost, before we kind of run through the bracket, I feel obligated to speak my mind on the bubble. And specifically, and Evan knows this, we talked at length about this as the bracket was revealed. Emerson Heights, Old South Side, two bubble teams, two great squads, a lot of activity in the neighborhoods, robbed by the committee. Robbed. I mean, I think you and I both understand that. I don't understand how the resumes side by side lift off to an Eagle Dale and some of these other ones, 4 seeds. A little frustrating there, but looking through the bracket, obviously, I think the North and West region are really complicated and maybe more so than that, represented by some blue chip teams. It's going to be real hard in my mind to knock off the Fountain Squares and the Broad Ripples of the world. Could be some interaction, maybe a Springdale 2 seed that may take some major activity here out of the North. But I like a lot of upsets coming from the right side of the bracket, specifically Southern Broad Ripple and Mapleton Fall Creek out of the East. And again, I'm really tempted to take some of these 4 seeds on the right side of the bracket as well, in Little Flower as well as Lawrence. Even though they were bubble squads.
Obviously, Emerson Heights, sorry about you. That's an unfortunate way for the season to end. I think that last loss to the Beaux-Arts Brownies in that conference tournament really took them.
People keep talking about that. I'm frustrated for them, but it doesn't add up.
The left side of the bracket, you say it's a little bit more top-heavy with some of these big behemoths, Fountain Square, Broad Ripples of the world. What makes them so different than maybe some of these 3 and 4s on the left side of the bracket?
Yeah, well, I think to me you got to follow the money. And in real estate investing, it's about following the money and a lot of commercial activity that anchors a lot of these stronger 1 seeds. Again, Fountain Square, huge commercial activity, high rents, a lot of breweries, a lot of commercial space, people interacting, walkability. Same with Broad Ripple. That's really been around for a long time. The Kansases, the Dukes of the world, always super high seeded.
You keep talking about some of these upsets on the right side of the bracket. What makes you favor the 4 seeds maybe over the 1s?
Yeah, again, like I mentioned, I think Lawrence is an undervalued play. A lot of high dollar figure houses up in northern Lawrence. You get out and escape some of the bad pockets. You got a quite nice little neighborhood, some newer construction, some upward mobility for middle class people to live still in Lawrence. Wonderful community. As far as Irvington goes, I think Irvington's a strong 1 seed, but has too many comparables to Little Flower. Older homes, architecturally appeasing. One could argue first-time homebuyer type prices. I think they're too similar. I think they match up really well, and I think you could call a ripe upset there with Little Flower.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities in their matchup. They play the same type of game.
They do.
They
yeah.
like to slow it down, old school.
They make you play their way. Yeah, they make you play their way, and you got to conform to that different investing style. I think it's just a tough draw for Irvington. I can see that upset.
You got to pick one upset, one bigger upset. Who do you see getting to the second weekend of the tournament? That's maybe in that 3 or 4 ballpark range.
Yeah, I've not been shy about Lawrence over Bates Hendricks. I'll continue to say that. I'll die on that hill all day long. My other pick would be Beech Grove. Pick Beech Grove over Kennedy King out of the West. Beech Grove against stability. Huge stable fan. If you're looking to invest, looking for a staple neighborhood, I think Beech Grove just brings it and makes you play their own way again. And it's really just a solid way to bring about a neighborhood class.
Clay, thanks very much for the insight.
Certainly.
We'll see you on the floor.